Yes, we begin with great news coming from the Nigerian Customs Service. The Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Command of the Nigerian Customs Service has announced a record revenue of 89.2 billion naira between January and June 2025. According to the Customs Area Controller Igosa Edodwak, the figure represents a 63% increase compared with 54.8 billion naira recorded in the same period last year. Edodwak attributed the success to focused reforms, targeted enforcement and enhanced compliance strategies. Beyond revenue generation, the command also intercepted two 40-foot containers of expired pharmaceuticals valued at 130 million naira duty-paid value, contravening the provisions of the Nigerian Customs Service Act 2023. The customs boss reiterated the command's commitment to trade facilitation, anti-smuggling and protection of public health. Now let's hear more from this report.
The Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Command generated 89.2 billion naira in revenue within the first half of 2025, representing a 63% rise compared to the same period in 2024. Comptroller Joy Edodwak attributed the performance to targeted reforms, operational efficiency, and stricter enforcement of trade rules.
This represents a substantial increase compared with the corresponding period in 2024, which stood at 54 billion 806 million 893,697 naira only. This represents 63% growth when compared with the corresponding year. On
anti-smuggling, the comptroller showcased two 40-foot containers filled with expired pharmaceutical products valued at billions of naira, handing the containers of expired codeine syrup to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency for further action. She explained that the seized items contravened the Nigeria Customs Service Act. Comptroller Edodwak stressed that non-compliance with trade regulations will be resisted and prosecuted.
Codeine is a classified item. It's not meant to be sold in the market just like that. It's a prescribed drug. But some unscrupulous elements brought them in, disguised as dutiable items. Only based on intelligence, we now found out that these are classified items that are meant, they're not supposed even to come to KLT in the first place. Because like you know, only a proper command is allowed to receive items like this. But they brought them here based on intelligence sharing. The information got to us and the containers have been seized. I've made it clear from time that KLT, we have zero tolerance for any form of unwholesome items, any form of illicit trade is not welcome here. And our officers, they are very professional. They are very much on alert, looking out for things like this. The moment we find them, we'll arrest them and hand them over to the relevant authorities.
She reaffirmed that the Kirikiri Lighter Terminal Command will continue to safeguard the economy and sustain its uncompromising stance against infractions. Ifunanya Eze, TVC News, Lagos.
All right, thank you, Funaya Eze. Now, two stories. Biko, before we go into the pharmaceuticals, the seizure, for Kirikiri Lighter Terminal to record such, such revenue, does this performance reflect a broader efficiency drive in the Nigerian Customs Service?
Of course it does. Every unit has been doing very well. Kirikiri Lighter Terminal is a very small unit, but like the Apapa terminal and others are doing very well. Recently, we talked about the record revenues, coming from the customs, and the contribution of the customs to our overall revenue generation is impressive.
Very, very.
It's impressive. So I'm happy that a small unit has also keyed into the desire for growth, the desire for efficiency and all that. And this is what we are seeing. And they are not only showing their prowess at revenue generation, we are also seeing them doing well in terms of enforcing the law. Expired pharmaceuticals valued at about 130 million
Exactly.
naira brought into the country. Thank God for the customs. A lot of our people face untimely deaths, if not for the efforts of
Exactly.
customs, and that's why we're happy with them. I'm confident that Kirikiri Lighter Terminal will continue to do well because there is a general attitude now that points to growth, consistent growth within the Nigerian customs, and they want to ensure that they meet the expectations.
And it needs to be sustained.
Yes, when you year on year we are seeing growth.
Exactly.
From 2023 right up to this time, growth, we are seeing growth across the board. So what we've seen at Kirikiri Lighter Terminal represents what's going on in the entire customs firmament.
I mean, Kaidiladi, the expired pharmaceutical. How did the expired pharmaceuticals, enter Nigerian ports undetected until interception by the Nigerian customs?
So it's multifaceted, and for us to even have the seizure and have it, intercepted, is not something we should, treat with kid gloves.
Exactly.
It must be commended, before we go into the idea of prosecution, and to also underscore the importance of this action. When we're talking about the money they've made, if they are not strict, if there is some form of compromise, where there's a kickbacks, and when there are some form of untoward activity, probably will not be talking about the figure they are talking about. So these two go pari passu.
Sure.
So having said that, it's for us to now ensure that this kind of attitude, is spread across all the agencies involved, in these goods. Like someone would say, I recall this conversation on Journalist Hangar when they say, oh, some customs people would be chasing vehicles on the road. That how did they even pass through the port?
Exactly.
So we're already having it being trapped, from the first point of call. So for me, I think it's a welcome idea. It's something that we should clap our hands, and at the same time, let them know that they need to work with other agencies and go after the culprits, the people behind it. Because if we don't have them behind the bars, they might find a way of saying, okay, this time we're lost out.
Yes.
Let's try it another way. But when they know that they don't just intercept, they don't just arrest, they also put them behind bars.
Absolutely. I mean, Biko, I need you to just chime in on this. Should there be broader collaboration with the Nigerian Customs, NAFDAC, other health agencies to strengthen checks, most especially for pharmaceutical products coming into the country?
Yes, of course, there is collaboration in our ports. A good number of security agencies are present. Some people even believe that there are too many. EFCC, all of them ensuring compliance with our laws. So they are present, they work together. They know that they have to work together, and they work together. And I'm sure the NAFDAC DG is proud of her colleagues at the customs. From time to time, these interceptions are made, which helps her job.
Okay.
Because she doesn't then have to go into the markets to do the job of ensuring compliance. Once these guys are intercepted at the ports, the ports are our first point of the first point of entry into any country. So especially we're talking about goods. Once they are intercepted at our ports, we have saved a potentially dangerous situation. We have avoided a potentially dangerous situation because once they get out
into
the ports,
it's difficult to.
It becomes difficult, and going into the markets to seize these things can be potentially dangerous because markets are crowded and sometimes they are resisted violently. I mean the NAFDAC forces, they are resisted violently. Sometimes they even try to take their lives. Remember the case of Queen that was
Yes,
fired at.
yes, yes. On
but
her
the bullets
headgear.
removed her headgear. So it is better that these things are stopped from escaping from
the
our ports. This year and even last year, the customs have made a lot of seizures, even firearms that could eventually land in the hands of
bandits,
criminals and even political thugs. So we need to do everything to strengthen the customs, make technology available to them that can help their work. They need scanners.
Okay.
Sophisticated scanners that will ensure that they can check goods coming in and check them in record time. Because if we have to now manually check,
no, that would
it takes time, and people complain that goods stay too long in our ports and all that, that the efficiency is a problem in our ports. And some people prefer to bring their goods through neighboring countries because they believe that they have greater efficiency, the downtime is lower and all that. So these are things that we need to invest in technology to help them improve on their work.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that if we can do that, we'll even see greater performance on the part of customs.
All right, gentlemen, let's move straight to our next conversation.